Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and evening racing spectacular Propagandacast from your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda heroes like defender of the fatherland, off here to a glorious, wondrous 1v1. Oh, you guessed it, it is Bayueax, and these to this expensive runner here, fighting for the Bayueax, Germany, Deutschland, here with the first Panzer edition with Mechanized, featuring the command tank, 250 half-tracks, vehicle critical repair, spotting scopes, and the light field howitzer there, with double infantry and the Panzer fast bullets, and as west it is Ghost fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union. Big mustaches everywhere. With Guard Rifle, something that's not got motor for once. It's a miracle. With K1 heavy tank, Guard Rifle infantry, advanced fortifications, howitzers, and Sturmovik strafing runs. We got anti-tank grenade, anti-tank gun, and mine bulletins here. And there's always a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacaster, keeping their worth it here. And without them, I would not be able to keep doing this for so long as I have. So, big round of applause to them. Clap, clap. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can donate via PayPal to support the worth it that way. Well, now, as you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. And these was the pioneers here, following a bit back here. Mechanized, definitely one of the rarer doctrines, though still has some players that are big fans of it. I doubt he's going to use the 250 half-tech, though it is pretty neat. Half-techs in general are pretty neat in my opinion, but oh well. Graham Northern Point here, more going to use the flex Spencer runner, pursuing the engineers here. Graham the southern munitions here. Lump, going to use collecting Norfolks. This is interesting here from Expense Run in terms of camping. Or normally you try, like you just said, a larger force northwards, like help protect and secure the fuel point. Instead, he's sending a larger force southwards, probably to threaten his opponent's southern fuel point. Maybe also to try and grab it, which is definitely interesting because it's a bit hard to secure. It's like clear line of supplying front line here, secure the southern fuel as the northern player, eastern player, if you will. So interesting opening there from Expense Runner. Very interesting. More grenadiers out there, plus more infantry. We would like to see the triple conscript engineer built, which has been popular as of late. Again, just hold up with some elite infantry, upgrade your counter 10-man squad status, and then, roll over the opponent. Comes to the tank heavy loss, there's Petrov and Dmitry are shot to bits. Engineers around the flank here, make great use of the heavy cavalry here to threaten here. Expense Runner's flank there. And again, just one grenadier squad up north here. It looks like it's also possible he's just using this as a diversionary maneuver, just just send one unit up there, while then at the same time forcing Ghost to have to play defensively. As sudden his fuel point is under threat here, so there's definitely some potential like mind games here from Expense Runner here in this maneuver. Here we can see that Ghost now is diverting force again to have to defend this on the fuel point as Expense Runner gets a bit closer, and of course he can even just threaten the car point instead of the fuel point directly, which is clever. Gonna end up getting a lot killed there on the engineers there as poor Boris there drops dead. Sandbags here again. Ghost trying to adapt here to Expense Runner's strategy and maneuvers here, and again trying to dig in here, but is stopped. I think he got a bit too greedy there with the sandbags. So yeah, he's just going to, I think, avoid the conscript for now and try and bait him into taking into the cup. And oh, mistake here, Expense Run by repositioning the machine and punishing here for him. But maybe not. Looks like he was quick to back off then against the machine guns, not pushing for the car point either. We got two grenadier squads here, or again, there's lots of possibility. Like, is he hoping to drive his opponent out of the cover? In which case, it's actually worked. Then now we can see Ghost is pulling back into the cover here. Pioneers for the flamethrower of their own, so could be an opportunity for Ghost to lay down mines. North here, point C's, no tech yet for Expense Run. Oh, actually, spoke too soon. Will he go for the 250 half track? Most likely not. I mean, it is pretty handy, particularly with some Panzer Grenadiers, Stormtroopers, or Flamethrower Pioneers, but a lot of German players just tend to, well, not use it. Mostly because it's just typical they have snares, at which point it doesn't really do a lot very fast, which is a bit of a problem with the half track, obviously, but at the same time, in the right situation, it can be quite impactful and just allows you to, like, really pressure your opponent. Again, he's been flanked in the south by Ghost troops there up north here. Rifle off tears for the conscript. Yes, they're relying on the conscript for replacements. Of course, the force retreat as well here. Brutal stuff there. Expense Runner can now push in northwards here, but Ghost remains on the defense. But Expense Runner just keeps trying to just bleed out Ghost here. Ghost and Expense Runner closing in the second command point here. Of course, with Expense Runner, pretty much everything is other than a passive ability. Unit that's unlocked to do something else. There's no call-ins or at all or anything directly active in the doctrine, which is a bit interesting. No tech yet for Ghost. He will probably have to consider that with some guardsmen. So far, the Expense Run is just increasing the throttle here as he just tries to squeeze out his opponent. And he's laying up the bunker for him back at base. Going for the carve point now. So what will Ghost do? I mean, he's definitely in a pretty uncomfortable position. As Expense Runner just leverages the Bayueax, well, more aggressive need to play fairly well here against his opponent. Grab the southern point here, very good. Bunker up there.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Can we retain command here for Ghost? So make sure to hit for the T-Center, possibly an anti-aircraft tariff check. I mean, an anti-aircraft tariff would actually make a lot of sense, so that could definitely be something Expense want to struggle with. He's at least currently not looking like he's expecting it, and most Soviet opponents do not expect it, but it still can be dangerously effective. Since again, it just packs a lot of firepower and mobility in the same package. So a fast anti-aircraft from Ghost here could possibly have to swing the game fairly aggressively back against an Expense runner. So I'd like to see the 250 half, but again, I understand we probably won't. Again, I can say Pentagon Grenadier Squad or Storm Squad with MP40s and the 250 half, you can do some significant damage and put pressure on your opponent. Plus, for the veterans, you can use it to reinforce your troops at the front line as well, so that's pretty handy. And then his going to be pushed back with the conscripts, two on the way there for Expense runners. South 8 point again with sandbags. And he's pushed back. Done with that. Can go for the half track now, but of course he's like could also just push for the T70. I mean, again, nothing wrong in the T70. It is used by, you know, many solo players for a reason, and it's not because of its name. I mean, it's really good. Guard squad out there for Ghost, adding the double DP light machine guns. Grab the point T, kind of north of the conscripts, pack 40 on the way there for Expense runner. He's being hammered here by the MD-42. 1200 rounds per minute being blazed at the direction. There you go. Unit duck, well, pushed into the dirt there. Samex there with the northern victory point. Pioneers with some barbed wire there, very good. Pack 40 out, obviously expecting some sort of light vehicle or tank from Ghost T. Expense runner sees the path ahead, and that involves an anti-tank gun. The Panzerabwehr Kanone 40, standard anti-tank gun of the German army, though most German forces actually couldn't get it because they didn't have enough of them, so they had to make do either with converted anti-tank guns from other things like CIS guns. In fact, the Germans use a lot of those, or smaller caliber anti-tank guns like the PaK-38 were also common. Or even like, you know, PaK-37s if they couldn't get that. PaK-36 actually, so little fun one there. MD-40 catching the guards, they're pretty rough start there for Ghost Guardsmen. We got a fourth Grenadier squad of Expense runner, pushing up to 4 there. Could also go on for the Panzer Grenadier squad, but I mean, 4 Grenadiers with light machine guns obviously works well. I mean, let's not joke about with that. Up north here, heading for the northern points here, looking to perhaps disrupt his opponent's fuel points. Not a bad idea. In the south, they need to retreat, or might want to merge with the engineers first before retreating, honestly, so just to increase the chance of not getting horribly murdered by the Germans. T-70 almost done here for Ghost. A mortar would also be a great addition here for both players. I think in particular for Ghost, it could provide him for some more means of pushing back against the Expense runner. With that machine gun on the field there, you know, the aggressive donning positioning of the Expense runner's machine gun covering some very prime real estate there. But there you go, T-70 light tank out there for Ghost. Will later, by the way, see itself replaced at least in some sort of reconnaissance units by the Valentine tank. As the Sods really like that one, in fact. Machine then engaged by the T-70 light tank, no mortar C as of yet, or field guns, but there you go, pack full lands a great hit that punches straight through the T-70's frontal armor. Northy camping out near the armored car, noting no anti-tank grenades by the way, so maybe like actually a good 250 half could work out here. On the same six from the T-70. Back here, we do get the anti-tank grenade out with the Ghost and the Red Army. He could also consider another guard squad. I mean, 2 guard squads with deep light machine guns can lay down some significant firepower against most opponents. Back at reinforcing healing. Tech on the way to the Expense runner, pushing for that Panzerwaffe. Sehr gut. Comes that pushback by the armored car. T-70 needed some repairs, having suffered significant structural damage from that PaK-40 and those armored car hits. Smaller force dispatched north, southwards here by Expense runner. The MD-42 team backed up by 2 Grenadiers. 2 squads of upgrade with the light machine guns. Guns caught by the Grenadiers, the heavy MD-42 team, further falling back in the face of a rather well-directed infantry assault there under Expense runner's command. Sandbags in the centre, very good, making it a bit harder here for Expense runner to push ahead there. But again, some mortars or anything like that could definitely be a good idea here for Ghost to augment his defenses with. Teasing his sniping at the Grenadiers. Comes to the Guardsmen, pushing back the armor car. Almost took it out there. Pretty close call. Victory points remains favourably disposed here towards Expanse Runner so far. Bit of a struggle there for Ghost to keep them under control for much prolonged periods of time here. Hard to say that what Ghost is currently planning him as an Expanse Runner. He is definitely a bit on the shorter end of the support weapon spectrum. Trying to push back here. Guardsmen doing what they can. Heading northwards with the Engineers. MD4 holding up. We've got 2 kills, half HP and C2. Nothing further on the base there of his opponent. And there we go. We do get the Cis Divisional Field Gun out here. A Cis 3 Divisional Field Gun for Ghost. Going to be able to using that to help deal with some support weapons. Of course, help deal with vehicles and armour. Expense running like going to go for a support armor core, though of course it could surprise us and go for the heavy panzer core instead. And particularly feeling fairly confident, he could be particularly disposed towards going for that. Particularly disposed. But there you go, Cis 3 Divisional Field Gun out, which again the Germans captured a lot of, and in fact converted a lot of them towards, well, packs of their own, rechambering them to using their own ammunition. And maybe also, I believe, doing something with the barrels so they were a bit better as well. They would also, in fact, use them on the Marder 2 series. There's another fun fact there. And apparently in that role, they were actually so effective when the British first encountered them in North Africa, they actually thought the Germans managed to, like, you know, add a Flak 88 to a tank destroyer. More mines in the south here from Ghost, very good. I mean, definitely versus an opponent's gone for flamethrowers and the Pioneers. Gaining out a lot of mines could be an excellent investment, since they're going to force them to go for another Pioneer squad with minesweepers. Which is always the risk as the Wehrmacht to go for flamethrowers versus the Soviets. I mean, sure, again, it's a great element to have in particular in a lot of situations, but at the same time, it can also end up feeling a bit awkward. But we shall see. Still, Ghost and I sort of chose a better macro versus Expense Run. The T7, the field guns, providing more tools, more sandbags is also a crucial element here. Again, making it much easier to, like, withstand the attacks of Expense Runner. That said, Sapoma calls up there, so likely going to go for a Panther 4. They could try and go for, like, a fast Osman here, which could be quite effective. Osman's quite good at fine for, like, you know, just blasting infantry out in the open, but also dealing with, you know, garrison troops and dug-in units, because it's quite good at shattering both buildings and heavy cover. So an Osman could be something to consider. That, or of course the command tank, which is also quite good versus infantry. So T-Sen over the damaged engine. MD4 holding up here, south side being claimed out. We got mines, more sandbags. Ghost taking advantage of any area where Expense Run is not attacking to notice to then fortify the area with sandbags and mines. 2 thumbs up there. In fact, here's a fun fact from the Second World War. The Soviets were incredibly good at quickly, like, fortifying any area they grabbed. It was much to the amazement of the Germans, who, like, you know, could, any territory they'd lost would briefly, then as soon as they counterattack, almost, you know, be heavily fortified with, you know, trenches, sandbags, and, well, sandbag positions and whatnot. So, little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. Panther 4 for Expense Runner, standard one there. MD42 as well, more heavy machine gun fire there. Could definitely, I think, encourage here. Goes besides taking up to maybe go for a mortar of his own to provide him with additional artillery fire here, but also smoke. Armoured Carbine has an upgrade here with the spotting scopes. When he's almost taken up, Pack 40 shoots and whiffs on the T-70. Lucky there for Ghost. In the south, the armoured car pushing forwards. Consul's caught on the wrong side of the cover. Apparently, they did not read the field manual. You have to be behind the cover for it to work. 2 Grenadier scores still upgrade here for Expense Runner. That is a bit noteworthy. Also, victory points wise is actually much closer to each other now. So, definitely Ghost has been catching up quite well here versus Expense Runner after the initial surge. There you go, Panther for Expense Runner. The Panzerkampfwagen 4. T-Sen rolling ahead here. 2 kills, Veteran 1. Comes with the Grenadiers. Field bombarding here. Going to get some hits in. Decent hits there, but nothing huge. Fairly lucky for Ghost, honestly. They're very lucky for Expense Runner. Armoured car, Panther 4 charging in a pretty aggressive push here, but also clearly meant to like just completely confuse Goat, or at least catch him off guard there, which is why starting in so aggressive, which is nice to see. Some players tend to be, shall say, very hesitant with attacks, and obviously you have to be careful not to get reckless either, but sometimes you do just like, have to get stuck in the vehicles and then hope you got the other stuff to follow up here on it. In this regard, there's just one thing that Expense Runner is really lacking to fully exploit. This would be some access to smoke or some half tracks, like quickly rushing the infantry to get past the machine gun that way, or overwhelm hit Ghost positions. Mine hit, Field gets a good hit as well there. Less great there for Expense Runner, but great for Ghost. I don't think can finish off the Panther 4, which would of course be the best scenario there for Ghost. Still, the assault there continues now with the second wave. Machine gun team there and suppressed. No heavy car for them. Gun these tanks and light machine guns, the heavy machine gun. Field gun the bombarding, and first shot completely goes over the mark there. Second shot. Great shot there. Friedrich and Heinrich there getting blown to bits. Panther 4 they're fixed up already. Guys from around the flank getting some good shots onto the rear. Pioneers to the mine and get wiped, leaving Expense Runner with no Pioneers repairs armored vehicles with now. That's actually a pretty big kill there for Expense Runner. That's going to slow down other plans Expense Runner might have had. Still, Expense Runner could do with either some more guardsmen or a mortar. Though he could also soon go for the T-34. But he's more likely to go for the KB-1 heavy tank here to put some pressure on Expense Runner. That is a bit tougher stuff to deal with. And there you go, another mine goes off. Ludwig there. He's moving forward, picked up the 6th Division field gun. Troops more further, marching out in further larger numbers there. Got it on the Panther 4 there by the 6th Division field gun. Close veteran drill on that one. We'll have to see what Expense Runner goes for next here versus Ghost. Now the Panther 4, command tanks, mortars, Ostwinds, Stugs. That's a K1 a Stug. That would be a fairly good investment, I think. But we shall see. There's the conscripts. More sandbags. Very good there. Thorough work by Ghost. Thumbs up. Some players tend to be good at like sandbags in the early game, but then forgets the game sort of hits the mid to late stage. But honestly, as you typically just want to like have a more like consistent sandbagging skill, if you will. And that's clearly what Ghost is playing here. So good for him. Though obviously, I imagine a bit annoying there for Expense Runner to have to deal with all the time. Northern points being seized here. Very close to that K1 heavy tank. There we go. K1 out there for Ghost. Oh, on the way for Ghost. It's not yet out. And a command tank for Expense Runner. The Befehlspanzerkampfwagen 4. Straight into the back body with the T-70. Eventually 2 of those gained. Ooh, bit awkward there for Expense Runner. T-70 escaping. Command tank halfway down. But so is the K1 heavy tank. Got coming forward seat. Good try and penalty with a lot of fire there. And hit up with some anti-tank grenades. Feelings around here from the rear. Getting a bit chaotic here. Getting a bit chaotic. Can he take out the Panther? Still disable it. There we go. Panther 4 almost knocked out here. Guard's being mowed down here, but the grenades out there doing some more damage here. Panther 4. Quarter health. Roughly looks like does get away. He does get away again. He escaping the wrath of the Red Army, but now the K1 heavy tank has arrived here for Ghost. The Clement Borishelov 1. Continuing southwards. More defensive posture. We got the command tank rushing here, and the Expense Runner's command looking to outmaneuver here. Ghost northern flank, put pressure on there. And does seem to work. Here's the machine team is being forced back. That could open up a path northern victory point. We got 19 was 262, still fairly close, but with a small lead to Expense Runner. K1 pushing forwards here. Needs to be mindful, of course, of any German surprises. There you go. Snipes Friedrich. And moving forward here, back up with the command tank. Ooh, good hit by the field gun, the command tank there. T-70 fixed up as well. Good trying to extend more pressure in the south here. Panther 4 and command tank has been activated with the spotting skills, but the regular Panther 4 has not. That's a bit interesting. Field gun though is actually close, been cleared out here by the Gundiers. There you go. Down to 2 men, a few more shots, and pop goes the Weasel. Nope, gets away. Really lucky there for Ghost. Pulling up the K1 there. Oh, almost wiped the Grenadiers there. They apparently took the shot for the Pack 40, though, so... I mean, had the shot gone off in the Pack 40, that would definitely be bad for Expansion Runner, but I guess you could say he got lucky that the Grenadiers took the beating instead. Worth noting, the Expansion Runner's lost 1 Grenadier squad, down to 3. Still feel like both sides benefit a bit from some light artillery, some mortars, some Granatenwerfers. K1 that being fixed up, 7 kills, close to it to 1-ish. Season on the victor point again. Got the Grenadiers machine on watch for any sort of counter-attack for that part of the map. Panther 4 being fixed up steadily. Ooh, even using the vehicle critical repair ability to speed up the repair, so you can much more quickly get back in action. 2 thumbs up there. Ooh, target weak point I think is pretty great here against the K1 right now. Target's a weak point, Friedrich, but where's the weak point? It's a Russian tank anywhere. Like, if you're lucky, you'll just go through some terrible welding. But no, instead he backs off here as Ghost assault team punishing. I think part of it is just this Shumwick straight ramming called in there. Panther falls down to half health field and providing excellent counter fire here. K1 down to half health as well though, but it does have more health. Machine gun there, and Grenadiers looks like it does successfully push back Ghost assault in the end. Panther 4 rushing forward here, 10 kills, close to veteran to 1. No additional armor here, anything like that from Expansion Runner. They could go for Stuke 3G to help hunt down the KV1. And I think Ghost is probably just setting up for another K1 here. I mean, multiples of them could definitely be a challenge there for Expansion Runner to deal with. Since again, they can soak up quite a bit of damage. They could also consider how... Oh, he goes for the Katyusha. I mean, that obviously works too. But there you go. Command tank catches Ghost field gun in a fairly awkward in position there. Almost wipes out the veteran crew. But there you go. He saves the day by quickly merging with even then he's taking a lot of damage to their command tank. Murdering the crew and firing the smokes. But still quick to merge here to ensure that the crew stays at full strength. 2 thumbs up to Ghost. There's some pro stuff there. Except of course being caught in a slightly awkward position. Need to fix up that K1 heavy tank. But still, very nice save there, the field and crew. Very nice save. There's some really good reaction times there. Up north, he comes to Guard being caught with for George worth noting. He's also merging country with the Guardsmen, keeping their reinforcement costs down, but obviously making them slightly easier to kill. But you know, it all balances itself out there. Fix on the K1, and we got the Katyusha rocket truck ready here for Ghost. We'll have to see, of course, he can leverage it well, but of course, I think another K1 would also be an excellent choice for him, and then just getting a mortar. Mortar would additionally provide him with flares, which allow him to scout ahead then, set up for better attacks versus Expansion Runner. We'll have to see if he makes use of the spotting scopes here to maybe line up a good attack here. I mean, one option to consider is actually attack for the south here, which is currently fairly wide open, so there's definitely, I think, a good like angle attack there in the south from Expansion Runner if he wants to choose it. Okay, we're rushing forwards there, 8 kills, veteran 2-1. Panther 4, both regular and command version good to go. We got 274 to 230, still fairly close, but again we're still with a notable lead for Expansion Runner, but nothing huge either. Conscorp being 4-2 team there, suppressed. Guardsman there, in there, what's it called? Hit the fighting position there, I think it's called. There you go, Kaba ruined, K1 rushing forwards, Pack 40 up in the K1. K1 that gets going to the Panther 4, which is getting finished 2. We got buttoning up there, and Katyusha Boucher on the Pack 40 crews being rather shaken and stirred. There's the rocket scream down, the command tank taking a few nasty hits there, but it does look that Pack crew successfully escapes to the wrath of the Stalin organ. That's the so it's called it. Stalin organ. Oh, Danish. The Germans in general seemingly had a tendency of like nicknaming certain things due to the sounds they made, or at least musical instruments. Like the MD-42 was also known as Hitler's violin. Picks up the K1 there though. T-70 Kaput here knocked out with the Panther 4 machine though cleared out. Good kill there though for Expansion Runner, removes a significant thorn in his side. He's also got 2 conscripts wiped out there. Is actually 1, not 2, 1. Slightly miscounted there. Sorry. Now the Panther 4 for Expansion Runner, just more Panzerkampfwagen 4s. Pack 40 being hauled back. All I need repairs, and there you go again, utilising the vehicle critical repair ability there to speed it up. Bit of an oorah there to charge your head with. K1 there, almost good to go again. Very close to a T2, by the way. Very close. Machine gun there recruit by the Pioneers just in time. Quickly into heavy cover. Guardsman saying your head on. Almost got it cleared out again. Almost sniping out the machine crew. There we go. Gets it wiped. Another Panther almost on the fixed bench. One confidence repetitive figure moving in. Here K1 on the move as well here. Could get pretty dicey around the southern point. There you go. Pioneers making rush to the MD42. Can damage anything the Panther 4. But there you go. Pioneers crewing, but they're quickly getting decrewed as they're being picked off like flies by the Ace Guardsman there. And there we go. Auto blending stuff there as they completely just wipe out the crew again. K1 going for the Panther 4 expansion runners in some pretty deep shots. He loses his veteran Panther 4 crew. Guardsman almost got the MD42 there. K1 is taking some damage. There go Friedrich with the Panther 4's damage to the engine. Panther 4 pulling hit. Pack 4 nearby. Guardsman could try and button up the Panther 4 to give K1 a better chance here, but they aren't buttoning it up. There we got the command tank flank out. There you go. Buttoning is happening, but it might be too late now here for the K1 possibly. Or is it? Or is it? Command tank rushing in there, crushing the Guardsman. Panther 4 there. K1 all clashing out. Shot bounce. Main gun out. And there you go. Panther 4 is down. The K1 has definitely done some heavy lifting here for Ghost, but now it does look like it's the end of the soup kitchen line as the K1 gets knocked out. He will need more tanks fast. Another K1 will be still a good idea here. Maybe some guardsmen. Didn't get the MD42 though. Katrusha find the grenadiers. They easily dodged that one. Unfortunately for Ghost, he has not been doing great here with his Katrusha rocket launcher truck. Damaging the armored car.
The enemy is reduced to 200 points.
Troops heading eastwards again. So what will expense when I go for? Probably just another Panther 4. Meanwhile pulling back the command tank.
Fresh guards troops are standing by.
There we go. Guardsman out. For Ghost.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Pushing south strength to the grenadiers there with a light machine gun. Comes Garden putting forwards. Northwards comes with grenadiers here. Pack 4 moving command tank as well here. Pack shoots, misses the conscripts. There we go. K1 on the move here. And the south could push on that southern victory point. Comes being slowed without the grenadiers here. Expansion runner is relentlessly pushing here and there, but nothing too big either. But he's going for another Panther 4. Meanwhile, Ghost K1 is close to the front line already. Northwards with both Pack 4s were ready for it. Might be a bait here by Expansion runner, in which case it's a beautifully set up bait here. There we go, straight into the Pack 40s here. Panther bus off as well. That's going to be pretty awkward there for him, but he still gets the command tank though. That's it, a K1 there for command tank is not a great trade there for Ghost. Not a great trade. Turn up his opponents just following up with more tanks. And south there, the Germans routed it. Victory point that can be claimed by the Red Army once work 169 to 230. It's now Ghost time to be in the lead him. There go grenades off, clearing out expense runners remaining Pack 40. Expense runner situation is starting to get pretty hairy, but there you go. A bold pack flank here against the K1 armored car rushing in. There's a spot for it. The armored car's fighting to the rear there. Do it, Ludwig, or we might die. Won't we die anyways? Yeah, but we'll at least die looking cool. There we go. Takes out the main gun, saving its own. Sorry, hard allowing the pack to take it out there. Holy smokes.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
Punishing Ghost, they're perhaps getting a bit too relaxed. But there we go. Charging forward for Deutschland. Guardsman sees in the southern point here. Katrusha moving forward. Will Ghost finally land a good rocket barrage here against the expense runner? Will be another whiff. Watch and find out. MD42 setting up here. He's riding there, go Katrusha barrage off against grenades up at the northern victory point. Rocket screaming through the air, hitting nearby bushes. murdering squirrels, but no Germans really losing their lives, at least maybe except for Friedrich. In the south here we got the Galician force with the Panzer IV going straight for the Guardsmen, who are, well, in the neat little fighting position, but a forced retreat here. A firing position, not fighting. Katyusha there. Ooh, avoided the Panther Faust here. We got 124 to 230. Can Expansion Runner maybe rush in and take out the Katyusha while Ghost is not expecting? I think the possibility is actually there. We got more grenadiers for Expansion Runner. Northern point being seized here. MG4 reinforcing healing, fixing up the armored car, the 222, which has survived it all, including an entanglement with a heavy tank. Using the silent points there. Constant get shot at the grenadiers here. Using the silent point. Shoots, get to go in the knees. I'm catching the conscripts. Got the MD42 joining in there, suppressing the conscript, pushing them back. Halfway to the east on that MD42 up north here. Panther IV changing the knees here. Situations starting to look pretty rough here for Ghost. I mean, he's got the feeling 2 guards, but at the same time, he's being slowly worn down now by Expansion Runner, starting to exploit more the gaps here in Ghost's lines. Particularly Ghost isn't getting like tanks to meet the counterattack with. Roughing and the maximum crew there, quickly forcing that retreat. Really bunched up there. Did not move, that could have been GG. And the Katyusha's just wide open. I don't think Ghost is quite realising it, mostly because the Katyusha so far still only killed 1 guy. Like, it's been finding so many barrages, but so far the results haven't been particularly impressive. Indonesia's the Grenadiers. We got 118 with 214. Country out the Grenadiers, Indonesia's backing up. Panther IV rushing in. Shoots and misses. When he's saying to the country, the gun is being pushed back here. Front line is being slowly pushed back in by Ghost, but can the Expansion Runner just stop this? Return to the front line for Ghost. Can he quash it? Another Katyusha barrage. And this time actually killing something. Impressive. It actually managed to kill something. But only one more thing. Panther IV moving in, exploiting here the gaps here. Going for the field with nothing to protect it. It is wide open. You do see the guards in there firmly trying to slow it down by buttoning it up, but it may not be enough here to stop Expansion Runner's Panzerkampf here. Or is it? Guards from them being absolutely massacred in the process. And there you go. Panther IV chain armor coming up from the other side. Catching the ace field, and they're in quite the squeeze. And I do think the Germans will squeeze it out completely. And there you go. Feeling their crew is gone. And with that, he's got nothing to fend off the German army's Panzerwaffe. He does have a K1 on the way though, but without the field gun, things became a lot easier for Expansion Runner in terms of engaging it. The 118 on 94 situation for Ghost is starting to rapidly deteriorate. Northern point being seized. Katyusha there is just like, you know, oh shit, comrade. We're gonna not be in a bad place at this rate. There we go. K1 being arrived to the front line. Again, seems like one of those cases where he's just like, you know, signed out, but the game has yet to register it. Yup, kind of looks like that. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss for Ghost, a victory for Expansion Runner. An intense fight here, but in the end, Ghost had a few tactical mistakes here. The Katyusha just didn't work out for him. Again, I think he's just gone for another K1 there and just a mortar. I think that would serve him much better. But also, I think Expansion Runner just played a very solid game here. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. This is Impelling Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for our last episode. Bye.